I have named as there is nothing more base than death. I've decided for tonight's concert, Virgil shall play the bass. With apologies to the natural historians in the crowd, I'm well aware that a rat cannot play a musical instrument. When you've been alone for as long as I have, you tend to anthropomorphize your friends. And if you are bothered by this leap in logic, you will be equally troubled by the claim that I could bring the dead back to life, like I'm about to do right now.
Our first song was written by Father Louis B. Marcus, our choir conductor. He was inspired by traditional African folk music, specifically The Lion King. Enjoy.
In my part in the story, I read all the children's fortunes. I felt their hopes, thoughts, and dreams, knowing in the board that you need a roller coaster, and I told them nothing. I even suggested they ride the Cyclone. So tonight, my apology, a eulogy in way of concert, the final concert of the now deceased St. Cassian Chamber Choir.
Then of course they closed the mine, the town was broke by 99, they closed the public school and city hall. The smart ones all packed up and went twice a day. If you can't pay the rent, a greaser at the mega shopping mall. It's a fact, just another tragic fact. We will never leave this town at all.
mystery. From ashes I was made, and to ashes I return. And so I wonder why.
Did anybody else just pee a little bit? Me neither, what?
Down on your luck, that's how life goes. When life gives me rain, I make rainbows.
Picked about the worst place to die in. Picked about the worst place to die in. That's our town, our friendly town.
Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for coming this evening. So tonight we're presenting the cycle of songs from Ride the Cyclone, the hit Canadian musical, which is on its way to probably a fall run in Chicago right now. I'll let Brooke talk to you about that a little bit later. But first I'm going to introduce everybody. So behind me is Alex Lysenko as Virgil the Rat. Last tour we actually traveled with a full band, but in the 2 tours before that, we traveled with just a bass player, and Elliot played a lot of the songs on the piano. Alex was our very first bass playing rat. And then I'd like to introduce James Insell, right here. James is one of the designers for Ride the Cyclone. He also designed Karnak the puppet and puppeteered it on tour as well. And he'll be singing with us a little bit later for a bit of a treat, so thanks, James. And then right here, we have Riel Braid, who plays Ocean Rosenberg. And Riel has since moved to Toronto, and together with Colby, they actually started their own theatre company in Toronto called Terrible Adults. Riel is going to be performing in Outside the March Theater's Mr. Burns, which is sort of like The Simpsons meet the apocalypse. And Colby was recently in a piece that was a mashup of Star Wars and Shakespeare, so still doing very interesting projects. Elliot Loran, who plays Ricky Potts, has also since moved to Toronto. That's a good clap. And he recently spent the last year at Stratford, so congratulations, Elliot, on that. Sarah Jane Peltzer is an intern at Pacific Opera Victoria this year, which means that she's the assistant director for all the main stage operas. Yes, go ahead, clap. She'll also be directing her own project and is doing some programming for your young people as well. Yeah. And then, of course, we have the one, the only, Victoria's crustiest sweetheart, Kelly Hudson. Kelly also recently started her own theater company, RKO Productions, which produced the sold-out run of the Rocky Horror Picture Show in the fall. Rick Small directed.
That's right.
Theatre Company, which is the original producer of Ride the Cyclone. So thank you so much for coming. And last but not least, I'd like to welcome Brooke Maxwell to the stage. And Brooke, of course, is the co-creator of Ride the Cyclone and has also been the musical director for all the various incarnations, teaching us all these very complex choral parts, which is why the music sounds so fantastic. And he'll be accompanying us tonight. Thank you, Brooke. And we'll get started with Colby, who's going to sing Noel's song and give us a little bit of an introduction there.
Hello. So, I played Noel Gruber, who was the only gay in town. He started off his monologue with a joke, which I will recount to you. Being the only gay man in a small rural high school is kind of like having a laptop in the Stone Age. I mean, sure, you can have one, but there's nowhere to plug it in. It was so great to get to start every night with a joke. It like warmed up the audience right away. We also had all these bumpers that were like little introductions to our characters. And we found out that Noel was a novelist, or not a novelist. He would have become a really terrible novelist that wrote like bisexual werewolf stories. Everyone would always laugh at that, so I'd start my monologue in this place where everyone just pitied me so much. It was great. Noel kind of came out to his family, and his dad just disappeared in the middle of the night. And Noel kind of expected that his mother would like fall apart and waste away and just stare out the window forever because they loved French movies and that's what he thought life was. But actually his mother just started going to the gym. So he was really, really upset with her, and he ended up working at a mall. He worked at a Taco Bell, which he absolutely loathed the whole time he was there. And actually in his funeral, they like made a meal for him called the Noel Gruber Hungry Hombre meal, which was used as fodder to try to make me cry in the monologue, and oftentimes it would work. So Noel had kind of other dreams and other aspirations, and I'll sing about those. Fine. In my life, I was Noel Gruber, who worked at Taco Bell in Uranium City, Saskatchewan. But in my heart, I played a different role. I was Monique Chabot in post-war France. A hooker with a heart of black charcoal. I write poems to burn by firelight, drink champagne and guzzle gin. Good girls call me the town bicycle. Don't knock it till you try my life a sin. Oh, Claude, my pimp nose, never mess with me. The last brick did that faded quick to black. I have no idea where to find officers, but if you do, please mention that I'd like to have returned the pretty knife that I stuck 10 times in his back. For I sing songs until the break of dawn. I embrace a new man every night. My life's one never-ending carnival. A world of bluesy passion. I want to be that fucked up girl. So here at a tango with Misha, and you're offering a rose, and I touch it, and I prick my finger, and then you kiss the blood off, and I slap him across the face, and then the two of us would be so turned on that we'd make out and have a tango. It was amazing. He said, I think I'm in love with you. I've heard that lie a million times before. Oh, tonight I give in to the fantasy. Take love cries, I end up with his bloody kid. She cries and cries and cries and left me numb. The gypsies offer me a pretty price. No doubt now she's a whore just like her mom.
Mama.
For I sing songs until the break of dawn. I embrace a new man every night. My life's one never-ending carnival. A world of bluesy, bluesy, flashing lights. I want to be that fucked up girl. So now I sell my love for opium in some rat-infested Chinese dye. At night I burn myself with cigarettes just to somehow prove I'm still alive. 8 months later, I catch typhoid flu. Kicked out, I see the ugly light of day. Dying in an alley, a priest kneels down to me.
My child, do you have any final words for the Lord you'd like to say?
We tell him that like him, I choose to burn out rather than fade away. For I sing songs until the break of dawn. I embrace a new man every night. My life's one never-ending carnival. A world of bluesy, bluesy, flashing light. For I sing songs until the break of dawn. I embrace a new man every night. My life's one never-ending carnival. A world of bluesy, bluesy, flashing light. I want to be that dumb girl. Be that
Song's always a real barn burner. And Colby usually would perform it in fishnets, stilettos, and a corset.
Oh my God, I missed them.
Yes.
I don't miss those shoes.
Next, I'd like to bring up Riel Brady, who played the character of Ocean Rosenberg, and she was one of the real type A characters in the piece. And I'll let Riel tell you a little bit more about that character and intro her song.
Hi. So, Ocean has two conflicting forces in her life, and one is her father, played by Colby Wardell in the song, and he is a very left-wing, loving hippie, and he's her moral compass. And then there's her mother, played by Sarah Pelzer in the song, who is a complete conservative, Ayn Rand-worshipping ballbuster. So Ocean is type A. She's joined the debating team at school, and she's noticed that she takes her mom's advice, she wins a lot. And if she takes her dad's advice, she doesn't. And she learns that to get ahead, sometimes you have to be mean. But that gives her a bit of a moral dilemma. And that's what we're about to hear. Daddy said,
Oh, daughter dear, you fill my heart with pride. You're
side.
Oh, Daddy dear, they cleaned our clock a zillion points to none. May I use the phone?
Oh, Pumpkin, you need to speak to one of your friends.
No. I'm calling Mom! So I called Mom and I told her the whole story.
You did what?
I spoke from my heart about the facts.
Incentive. If you do well at this debate, you can come live with me.
Black Point.
Get a pen.
And she told me something that goes a little something like this. The art of winning arguments ain't changed much over time. You read and rule your public first and then you change their mind. If the judge looks like a hippie, your foes are right-wing nut. If the judge seems like a holy hostile Pentecostal, then your foe's a godless hedonistic slut. Demonize your opponents with personal attacks, quotes from fake authorities and unrelated facts. Create a false dilemma like you're with us or you ain't. Ask the Pat's a loaded question. How can you say that Adolf Hitler was a saint? Oh, the tale of human history is one of damn and Maggery.
It works on the mob every time.
This candy-coated recipe of black and white morality.
That's how we like our slime.
The next day at the school debate, my mom's advice applied. We were like Marine Corps, stealing cookies from girl rides. The judge gave us a standing O.
Why can't girls down and cry?
And the winner of your Radio City debate is Rosenberg. And that other girl.
Yeah, we won by a freaking landslide. Look, I even got a trophy.
We got a trophy?
Yeah, don't touch it. Right, sorry. In this world, there's just one sin.
Don't play the game unless you play to win. You play to win.
Why does my opposition feel the need to defend
You
pedophiles?
play to win.
And the winner of the municipal debate is Rosenberg.
You play to win.
My brother just died. Shut up.
Play to win.
And she's not gonna get folks wild. Prairie Rosen, boy, yeah.
Don't tell me there's a better use of your ambition than to wipe the floor with all your competition. Mommy, dearest, said there's only one real mission: play to win, play to win, play to win. Dad was there, and so was Mom, for the national debate. But where were my opponents? They were half an hour late. And then this kid rolls in with a wheelchair and begs us to forgive.
He needed an emergency blood transfusion. Turns out he only had 3 weeks left to live.
Debate topic. Are human beings ultimately good?
You play to win.
Are you kidding me? He's in a wheelchair.
You play to win.
Shut up.
Okay.
You play to win.
What would Glenn Beck do?
You play to win.
On his blinds too?
And the opposition calls Miss Rosenberg.
My heart began to flutter. Tears welled in my eyes when I looked unto my father as he hung his head
he's a communist, just like you. And we got something to tell you. Tell us, comrade. And we got something to sing to you. Sing it, comrade. You want to hear it? Yeah. You want to feel it? Yeah. Did you hear it 2 times? Yeah. Yeah. Let's do this. We're gonna switch moving on. Always the child. It's gonna get on you. Gonna be the pop. Baby's over. You're not gonna you're so alone. Let's keep it score. You wanna kick out the crutches from a cripple? Or push an old lady down the stairs? Steal a piece of candy from the ground with the baby. As long as you're winning, who cares? Take out a kid in a wheelchair. That's the road to perdition. Soon you're gonna wind up a backstab and ask for a broken neck competition. When you're wrestling moving, always give it a shot. It's gonna get on you. Gonna be the pop. And once again, you're so low. Let's keep it score. I said it's only you said alone. Let's keep it score. It's only a song. You're so alone. Let's keep it score.
That was always one of the favorite songs to do. Gospel's always so much fun. But that song has been cut from the show, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many people saw like the last incarnation of the show that happened at UVic right before we went on our national tour. But it was actually a different song called "Choose Me" that was performed after that. But I'll let Brooke sort of talk about the evolution of that character in that song.
Yeah, it was cut. We cut it. Crazy, right? And I was just thinking as we were singing it over there, that was the second to last time. I know that song will be. But that's crazy. Sorry about that. We're not ready to do that. Sorry. Yeah, we obviously had a lot of fun writing it and performing it. They sound so great. But what has happened through the course of the show is we started in 2008, I think, brainstorming and workshopping this. Under the guidance of Atomic Vaudeville, and we had access to this fabulous cast. Did we have everybody who's here in the first stages as well?
Yeah.
Nope.
Right?
We added Elliot as the guy.
Great new much.
Right.
For like a minute, for a week.
For like literally showed up for 1 day of the 4-day workshop.
So initially the idea was Jacob wanted to dramatize an accident. So it became a roller coaster accident, and 8 kids died on a roller coaster. And the idea of dramatizing an accident with the headlines in today's media turning something as serious as 8 children's deaths into headline fodder of our 8 angels died. And so with that in mind, Karnak, the machine, brings the kids back to life for their last sort of hurrah, in a sense to sing or speak their own individuality. That was the intention of the original show, and more the loss of that individuality, I guess, as well as the dying of the small town uranium. So the problem with that, well, it wasn't a problem, that was great, that was wonderful, that was our sort of cabaret that we had initially presented, and the ocean character, that number worked for her in her afterlife, that was great. as we worked on the show from 2008, 2009, we went to Summerworks Festival in 2010, and by that time we had really packed packed the snowball. Like we'd been doing different versions of the songs, chopping them, making them tighter and tighter, until we had down to 6 characters, and the characters were very strong, unique. The songs were very strong and unique, and we took that to the Summerworks Festival, which is a new works festival out of Toronto, and we were very well received. And that was sort of the first time we really started taking. I mean, we were taking ourselves seriously before, but we really got an external pat on the back, and that was a lot of wonderful attention and a really nice chance to share that with other parts of Canada. And it also led to getting the attention of some outside producers, including Maurice Burchard out of Toronto and Kevin McCullum from New York, who is a fairly well-known and very established Broadway producer who's produced Rent and The Drowsy Chaperone and In the Heights and the Motown musical that's up on Broadway right now, as well as The Last Ship that Steve's done on Broadway. So we got the attention of this gentleman, which was a real blessing, and if you love that song, you could also say it was a curse, because he was encouraging us to, rather than have a cabaret type showcase of the 6 characters, he needed a plot. He needed a plot in order to market it as a musical if we were going to be working with him, because that's what he dealt in, musicals. So with a plot, we need character development, changing over time, a sense of conflict, tension that gets resolved at the end, and the happy ending. So we needed to get some of that in there. And that was a big headache for Jacob. If you don't know, Jacob Richmond is one of the great big brains in Victoria. We're very lucky to have him in our creative scene as a big part of Atomic Vaudeville. And he was given that nut to crack by this producer. Like, we need to get a plot in here. So he ended up focusing on the Ocean character as sort of the main character that was going to go through this transition. And her transition was going to be, the plot was, Karnak's brought the kids back to life now, not just to showcase their last songs, but also to give one of them a chance to return alive. And Ocean, being the type A that she was, with straight A's and the opportunity to go to college, obviously she has the sense that she should be the one who goes back. And of course, everybody else's life, they're going to be working at the Tim Hortons or the Taco Bells or making cupcakes, and according to Ocean, it's obvious that she should go back. So her character development is that she eventually realizes that she shouldn't go back, and somebody else in the group should. So there's your plot. And that pleased him, so that was great. But then we had to write in songs to fill that and support that. So consequently, the Play to Win gospel thing had to move to the side burner, and we wrote a song called Choose Me, which lasted for a while. And yeah, the entire tour, the Canadian tour. And then in August, this last August, I don't know if Kai's okay, she's okay. We got to go down to Chicago and rewrite that song again. So now it's called What the World Needs Is People Like Me. Similar sort of idea that Ocean sings this song. But I think I've said enough right now. Yeah.
Thanks, bro. One character that is one of the actors that's not here is Jameson Parker, who on the tour played Misha Baczynski. That part was also previously played by Matt Coulson and Carrie Wass. And that character also went through a bit of an evolution. I'm going to be singing one of his songs tonight. And what do you need to know about Misha? He was born in the Ukraine, adopted by a Saskatchewan family, is now living in Uranium City, Saskatchewan, but fancies himself a bit of a baller. So, drop the beat. Yo, this is a song to tell you that what you is what you got. And I'm here to say that I am the money. What you is what you got. And I am the money. Take a look, baby, he's a real ka-ching. Lounging with my homies, Friday night sleep. PlayStation's up on my 60-inch screen. Me nuggets in the back, crystals on tap. New toothbrush from Tiffany still in the bubble wrap. Tripods going like nuclear sciences. Sparkling all over my stainless steel appliances. Shining like Midas, king ka-ching. Everything I touch goes bling, bling, bling. He's going to sing part 2 of the Misha song. So Misha fell in love with a Ukrainian girl that he had never met her in real life. He had met her kind of over the internet through his YouTube channel. She was a fan of his rapping. And so one of his biggest regrets and sadnesses in the afterlife is he never got to sort of, live out his life with her because he really thought that she was the one. And so part 2 of his song shows a video of what their potential life might have been like together on their wedding day. So it's quite a beautiful video. And what we did theatrically in the staging of it was we used a piece of white fabric to pick up the projection at various points on stage. It was a table, and then it became a veil and was projected on the veil. And then also on the actors' skirts, they were wearing these white skirts, so you could see, kind of Celine's face, Celine who plays the love interest in the video, on the skirt. So it was a very innovative use of projection for its time. And looks super cool. So we're gonna actually play this video. And the video was shot by Elliot's brother as well. We do everything local here. And so, yeah, we'll just show you the video, and Jimbo's going to sing the song.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. This is a love song. Happy Valentine's Day. Our name is Natalia Barushka Bolinsky. My divine Talia, when I look into your almond eyes, I do not see the boy I am, but the man I must become to possess you. I want to take all the pain from your heart, and in the passion factory of my heart, transform it into functional joy. I want to take your hand by the Chernobyl River, and with all of Ukraine as my witness, take you as my wife. And we shall sing and dance and drink, and I shall whisper in your ear, that rivers run wild. Oh, let that be man. My divine Talia, I lay my masculinity at the altar of your white room.
Matt would always just be like, so many tears. Oh, Matt is so good.
He like reads his actions. Whoa.
Yeah.
So great.
Oh, actors.
Inside the actors.
We also did a cool thing with that one when she threw her bouquet. She threw it with somebody, the rat would throw it over the proscenium and then I would catch it. So it was
Right.
like something came out of the thing. It was
3D.
We're really innovative.
Totally. The love story in the show has also kind of gone through a bit of a journey, so I'll let Brooke introduce the next song, which is a song that is now on the cutting room floor.
No, it's gone.
Small things.
Small things, yes. I think the next song is called Small Things Become Big Things, and I think we only performed that for one version, if that's correct me. And again, this was our song for the love interests at the time. Of course, every musical has to have some sort of love story, and I think in the initial version, we had a rapper character. I don't know if the Misha was the name or there was another name. Corey Ross, okay, Corey Ross. And he wasn't Ukrainian, but he was a badass sort of rapper type. And his song at that time was he was going to rap battle against the most worthy opponent of all, himself. So he had a rap battle against himself, and we had a lot of fun using funhouse mirrors as the prop, and as he made insults about the other person's mother, which was his mother. It got very Freudian in there. Anyways, that didn't last too very long. Sorry, Ray, what were you saying?
He had that amazing line right at the end. Going was like, don't be sad, you just had a rap battle with yourself and you won. And he's like, yeah, but I also lost.
So sorry, that wasn't about the love song, but that was our rapper character that gradually evolved into this version of Misha. So the earlier love song we had Tim and Celine, I think.
Tim and Almira.
Tim and Almira, first of all, and they didn't have too much complexity to them at that time in the draft. They were basically just the lovers. We always referred to them as the lovers, and we wrote a couple songs for them. One was a Bollywood song that didn't work very well. Another one was this Small Things Become Big Things. Was that for Tim and Almira? Small Things Become Big Things. And did we try another one? No, Lovin' in the Food Court. That was in.
The next one was like,
That didn't even make it to a rehearsal.
No. Okay, enough of the love song. So here, this is Small Things Become. Actually, and this is inspired by that image of the butterfly that flaps its wings, and every small action has a larger consequence. The butterfly flaps its wings and causes a tornado on the other side of the world. Right? Everything has a consequence. Here we go. Small things become big things.
Flap its wings, unknowingly creating a mighty storm left in its wing that leaves the whole world shaking. From the flight might also bring a gentle breeze to follow, a happiness of old age, a joy beyond all sorrow. Small things become big things, become all the world. Every flight and every fall and every song. Of the laugh and the small tear, we all sing along. So everything comes and it goes, and I know it echoes. It echoes.
That's just a little taste of the many, many songs that we left on the cutting room floor. And I'd like to bring up Elliot Loran, who played Ricky Potts, of course, in the show, to introduce his song. Come on up, Elliot.
Once I saw a homeless person eat a raccoon.
Elliot, I know that you may be having trouble right now shedding some of your characters, so why don't you talk about it a bit? Tell a story.
Oh, Lo, I am a rival prophet from the Solarian star cluster, supreme leader of all those evolved from cats. I'm just waiting! Spicy! Bachelor man. Okay, I'm totally having a nervous breakdown right now, so I'm gonna go have a pee, and you guys should probably grab a beer because it's intermission.
Intermission!
You might see before you an ordinary man, an earthly illusion, all a part of a cosmic plan. Yes, long ago they visited those others from outer space. And before me, I'm the chosen one to savor this rare embrace.
Yeah, it's true. Listen.
Ricky, we are a distant galaxy, a galaxy craving need of your groove, your diplomatic powers. Yes, we need your frequency. My daughters are the seven stars, sworn a shining star, and I know that I don't are the seven cattle women from Zohar. Ooh. What would you do in my place? A mere mortal man, the fate of the galaxy before you. Nearly others our lives in your hand. The shadows and the stars are with you never get through like me. It's Solarian history. I'm just a swinging Spacey Bachelor man. Let's dance, kitty! Aren't these the sexiest cat people you have ever seen? Meow! Meow! Oh, meow! Oh, meow! Ooh, meow! Ruh. Meow! Meow, 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 meow!
Yeah, it gets weird now.
My daughters, you're a hero of saving grace. But now there is a new challenge for Solaria to face. For where I war with cola, those bastards on catering to, and my generals are on a holiday. Oh, Ricky Paz, what should we do? Oh my goodness!
What have I got myself into?
Look, I thought I told them I'm a lover, I'm not a fighter. I'm just like you. Spacey Bachelor man. And so I told him, I said, I am just a man, a space age man. That's all I am. And I wanna hold your hands, touch me, all your hands, while we make love tonight. Ooh, I have no desire to rule the galaxy. Oh, the Holy Ghost is enough for me. Making love in zero gravity. Yeah, ooh, ooh. Making love, making love, making love. Oh, just love's all I'm making love, making love, making love. Oh, just love's all I'm making love, making love, making love. Oh, just love's all I'm making love, making love, making love. Oh, just love. And they listened, and they heard my message as
Okay, well, I was singing notes that only cats or cat people could hear. A G sharp 5 octaves above middle C. incredible. Peace was restored. I guess, well, that's what happens.
When you're swinging, Stacy, that's your man. And I looked up at the moon of solar, and it all just seems so clear. I wiped the teardrop from my eye, and laid a marzipan for me near.
You gotta make this happen in your world. Now you know how good it can be. You gotta go home and tell your people. There's something inside you breathe. You know how.
Love, sweet love, love, sweet love, love, sweet love, just love.
But wait, there's more.
Stacy, bachelor man.
The rest of the show is going to be done in cat language. Hi. So the next character.
It's a lot of context.
I know. I love that piece. Next, I'm going to invite Sarah Pelzer up to sing the ballad of Jane Doe. Jane Doe is, of course, the character that you see on a lot of the publicity shots. Barb Pedrick took that iconic shot. Sarah Pelzer pointing at you. And Jane Doe, she was one of the kids who was found after the accident decapitated, so without a head. And so in the afterlife, when she realized that she was headless, she found a broken doll and kind of picked up the doll head and put it on her head so she wouldn't freak the other kids out too much. And so that's what you think when you're headless in the afterlife, according to Jacob Richmond's brain. And so that's why she had these kind of black contacts in and kind of this kind of curly doll ringlet hair. And Sarah developed this physicality that was kind of very stiff. You know how dolls kind of don't completely bend. So very spooky, eerie, and also kind of a comedic character as well. But I'll let Sarah talk a little bit more about that.
Oh man, that took hours also to get ready with the contacts and everything. It was very stressful, but worth it. So we've been doing this show for a couple days, and I've been trying to introduce the character, and I was kind of thinking of myself yesterday, like, why am I having such a hard time talking about this character? And I realized it's because she has no backstory at all, because that's the whole point. So I'll just tell you a little bit about what I did while I was on stage. I spent a lot of time trying to see the air. I spent a lot of time staring at other people's skin and wishing it was my skin. Just staring at people in general. So there's not a lot to say about the character and sort of her past, but there is a lot to say about how she feels. It's a character that's all about the void and all about the inscrutability of loss and the inexplicability of death. So this is her song. Some might say we released, wishing daisies deceased, and at the end of the day we're just dead. Kingdom come, paradise, yes for some must be nice to have a body attached to their head. Not for me.
just kind of go along with the idea of the New Orleans funeral march. So Ellie was actually dressed in a John Doe kind of character with kind of the shoulders up towards his head, so he looked like he was headless too. And a lot of the actors had these kind of top hats on and did this kind of cool dance with the hats, and then kind of like carrying around the coffin sort of kind of choreography. But then, like was with a lot of the songs, the transitions happened, whether it was in the lyrics, the lyrical content, or the choreographic content, to move a little bit further away, because a lot of the songs kind of like had their own internal stories, which is really cool and very interesting, but there needs to be kind of a thematic thread that all the pieces help to support. And so one of the choreographic changes for that piece was the designers, Hank Pine and James Insell, they kind of sewed these LED lights into all kinds of props and umbrellas and things, so that when the stage lights were quite dark and they spun the umbrellas, they would look like Ferris wheels or merry-go-rounds or roller coasters and these kinds of things. So it was kind of a really cool visual look that they achieved with choreographer Trina Stupel. Yeah. So next I'd like to bring up Kelly Hudson, who plays the character of Constance Blackwood. And I was remembering earlier today that what a great writer Jacob is, and with her name Blackwood, her last name, it's kind of interesting because Constance is really the character, and her name Constance, she's a steady character. She's always considered the nicest girl in town. She was voted friendliest girl in homeroom 3 years in a row. And but it was an award that she secretly threw in the dumpster behind the KFC near her house every year. So, there's some darkness kind of lurking underneath, hence the name Blackwood. I'm sure Jacob thought of that. He's like that as a writer. And so now here's Kelly Hudson performing Constance's monologue.
I lost my virginity to a carny in a porta potty before I died. Like 3 hours before. It was kind of porno. He was ancient, like 32. He had this tattoo on his forearm. It was two skeletons having sex, and it said "born to bone" on the bottom of it. I laughed when he showed it to me. My mom says that you should always laugh at guys' jokes or they'll think you're a cow. My parents own the Fat Man Cafe in town. It's been in my family since like forever, since my grandmother's mother at least. But the Blackwoods have been in uranium since they opened the mine. My family took pride when it came to that, until I went to high school. Having pride in your town was only like the lamest thing you could ever think to believe. All the kids at school have this joke about my parents' cafe. They say that inside every fat man there's a fat girl dying to stay in. Because it's called the Fat Man Cafe, and because they all thought I'd be here forever, because I'm, well, obviously. After a while, I started to feel kind of crummy about things, like ashamed. I'd be in the cafe and I'd catch myself staring at my mom thinking, what a loser. What a stupid dead-end loser in a stupid dead-end town. My parents were good people, and all I could do was think horrible things about them. I really wish I'd never thought those things. I was just so angry that I was born into the only family in uranium that raised a child to believe it was okay to do your work and your living and your dying there. Things got all kinds of poison after that. Anyway, my virginity! I just wanted to do it, I just wanted to get it over and done with so I didn't have to think about it. No. Actually, I wanted to lose it in the most horrible way possible. Constance the lifer loses it to a carny in a crap box in a crappy town. Why, of course she did! But then I rode the Cyclone with the other kids of the choir. And that's when the accident happened. We were at the top of the loop, and the roller coaster, it made this kind of like sparks were shooting everywhere, and then all of a sudden the screaming and the sparks just stopped, and there was like this weightlessness. My heart jumped a gazillion beats a second, but I didn't scream like the other kids. No, I was soaking it in, because on a certain level it was so rad. Sailing through the air, upside down, you could see all the other rides, and it was like something unlocked inside of me, and my heart welled up with this love for everything. Images and all this feeling came flooding into me, like climbing back into bed in the morning and feeling the heat left over from my body. Patiently sucking on a jawbreaker till I finally get to the gum. Hanging upside down on the monkey bars until my head starts to tingle. Putting glue on my fingers and then chewing it off. Smelling Jiffy markers. Listening to music and dancing around my room before going to a party, pretending like I'm actually going to have the perfect time. Feeling the heat left on my cheeks after having a good long cry, and then sucking the snot bubbles back in my nose. Licking the maple syrup off French toast Sunday morning. Pizza night. Halloween. Finishing an essay and doing a knot, blowing on a window and drawing a little picture, watching my little baby brother dance naked to ABBA, being in the choir at the height of the Hallelujah chorus and feeling all of the other voices rattle my bones. I started laughing like a crazy person, giddy with endorphins. Everything was dancing leprechauns and rainbows, moonbeams, streams of chocolate, whirling rides, and flashing lights. There's no shame in loving my small town. The only good things that happen to me happened in uranium. It took a horrible accident for me to realize how goddamn wonderful everything is. I used to think that life was just a jawbreaker. Yeah, you suck, and you suck, and you suck, and you suck, and you suck some more. Yeah, you suck some more. At first it seemed so sweet, and the colors come and go, like the seasons come and go, the slush and rain and snow till you can't taste no more. So you suck some more. I used to think that life was just a heartbreaker. Oh, it breaks
we set off the confetti cannons too, just to give you a bit of an image for that. So the next song is sort of new. I mean, we did it on the last tour, but that was the first time that we did it since the kind of new changed ending. So I'll let Bert talk about that a little bit.
Sure. As I was mentioning before, we sort of went from having no plot, or a plot that set up the kids in this dead limbo land, and then they sang their songs, and then Karnak had his power cord eaten by the rat, and everybody died, and the lights went out. And hope you had a good night. Family show, comedies. And it was a very beautiful thing, actually. Especially, we're actually going to do the ending of that version of the show as our last song of the night here, and it still always kind of makes us tingle because it's sort of packed with the memories as well as it's quite an emotional thing. Anyways, we had to, in order for this plot to take place, we needed tension, we needed release character development. So as I mentioned earlier, Ocean sort of stepped forward as almost the main character, or the character that was going to go through the changes anyways, from being this self-centered type A who believed that she deserved to go back because her life had more value because of her straight A's and her opportunities for post-secondary education. Some student loans. We didn't mention the student loans, but anyways, so we realized that our Ocean, hopefully through the course of this new version, gradually realized that there were other things valuable in life. And as you've heard about with Jane Doe, the lost soul who never really knew who she was, gradually, I'm going to give you the spoiler alert, here's how it ends. Ocean realizes that she's only had her 17 years of life to experience, but she's had that, and she's had those memories, as have all the kids. Whereas Jane, having no memory of anything, doesn't have anything. So she wishes it on Jane to go back to life, which is really beautiful. Actually, it still makes my hair stand up on my arm because it's a lovely switch. I guess it's sort of the obvious switch too on some level, but it was really quite beautiful, and especially the way it was staged and brought to life. We were playing with a lot of magic on the stage of this Where Are We Right Now, this in-between world that's sort of in Karnak's mind. And in the original productions, there's a big proscenium covering the stage, and we were able to, we did have smoke machine coming out of there, right? A fog wall.
Do you remember when Kevin McCall wanted Jane Doe to have wings at the end and ascend into the sky? I'm so happy that didn't happen.
There's so many ideas, and again, as you're in the creative process, there's so many ideas that are thrown out there, and most of them are terrible, right? That's it. And we can say this off record. I don't know if you heard this part of the story, but somebody whose initials are KM also wanted everybody to go back to life.
Oh, that's right.
So, lots of good ideas. You had to riff.
You have a song. You wanted Karnak to have a song.
Karnak to have a song, right? So there's lots of great. Okay. No. So, needless to say, there's a lot on the cutting room floor, but there has to be, right? You basically put it all in there and spew it out, and what's worth keeping, you keep. And throughout this process, that's been one of the major lessons: is you can't hold on to your darlings. It has to serve the purpose of the show. And I know some people have some sentimental attachment to some of the songs as well as we do ourselves. I mean, they're beautiful songs, and they were great. They are great. They are great. And that version still exists.
Will you release the B track at some point?
The B-sides. Well, there's so many terrible ones. I mean, they're embarrassing. They're embarrassing. Yeah, "Lovin' in the Food Court" is. That's not my fault. Anyways, yeah. So this song here is what gradually evolved as we introduced the idea of the contest, the American Idol meets Hunger Games aspect of the show, where Ocean realizes she's got to sing the most kick-ass song to get Karnak to choose her, and everybody else is resigned to their fates. Her process, she goes from realizing, or we hopefully all go from realizing that life isn't a game or a competition, it's more of an experience or a ride. Almost like roller coaster or something like that. Anyways, we didn't want to say that out loud ever, but I just did, sorry. So the lyrics for this, I like these ones, so I'm just going to say them out loud before we actually get to sing them, but I think this is the sentiment we were really trying to go for. I'm proud that I think we got it. It's not a game. Maybe that's news, because no one will win here, and no one can lose. There's no one to measure our foolish pride, and no one keeps score of how hard we tried. This ride, it has heartbreak, this ride, it has pain, and all kinds of blue skies, and no shortage of rain. Yes, there's laughter and the telling of lies, and maybe in darkness, we open our eyes. It's not a game, it's not a game, it's just a ride. So here we go, just a ride.
I know this stream of life is never ending. We go around and round and round again. At times we fall, but soon we are ascending. A new beginning comes with every end. It's not a game, maybe that's news, 'cause no one will win here, and no one can lose. There's no one to measure our foolish pride, and no one keeps score of how hard we tried. This ride, it has heartbreak, this ride, it has pain, all kinds of blue skies, no shortage of rain. Yes, there's laughter and the telling of lies, and maybe in darkness we open our eyes. It's not a game, it's not a game. Whoa, no, it's not a game, it's not a game. It's just a ride. It's just a ride. You feel the world is spinning with no ending or beginning. You just take a look around. Take a look around. Take a look around. Then round and round and round and round. The stream of life is never ending. It goes around and round and round again.
Thanks. I just wanted to, speaking of things being just a ride, just like to shout out to Saul Anderson, who was our driver, the driver of our set on 2 tours. Drove a Tetris-packed U-Haul at one point from Whitehorse all the way to Toronto, which took him, I think, 5 days. So people forget that somebody does have to do those things, and because to fly it would be just absolutely like exorbitant cost-wise. So it was a deal. Thanks, Saul.
Just don't get pulled over in Winnipeg.
Yeah. That's a long story we won't get into. And I'd
Save
also
that for
like
the
to
lobby.
just- yeah, okay, thanks, Saul. Okay. Saul will be on the lobby afterwards if you have any further questions about him. If he can remember. I'd also like to say hello tonight to Barb Pedrick, who was around right from the very beginning, taking some amazing photos and always being an incredible supporter, as a lot of people here have seen almost every incarnation of the show. So thanks again so much for coming and supporting it. Please tell everybody you know. But before we go, we're going to sing another song that was left on the cutting room floor. We'll welcome James Insel back again. And maybe Julia can introduce herself.
shortly to write lyrics to. It's called La La Love. Slash life, yes. Oh, and actually, I'll say a bit more about that because it was the staging of this that really spoke more than the words. And it was a lovely scenario between our two lovers that were just the two lovers, right? This was Tim and Celine. This one. And it basically was the story through their life as they went from being young lovers into aging together and having children together. And this was all done with beautiful puppets and shawls.
Little people puppets, and a little iceberg came in, and then we stuck the people to it. We stuck a house. Yeah, and someone got singing with a bear. Yeah, she caught a bear, and then we had these cool waves, like old timey waves that we would go back and forth. They had kids, and her wedding veil turned into a baby, and then it turned into a shawl, and they both got really old together. And then we brought out a chessboard and we played chess. And it was always my favorite. It would always make me cry because we would never get old, and that's what at that point of the show I was done. Like I was like, pick me up off the wings and drag me back on the stage. And I was like, you guys, we're never gonna get old.
Kelly, is there anything that doesn't make you cry? That's what I'd like to know.
It's been a tough week.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
So again, with staging like that, who needs lyrics? All right, let's do this. This is La La